Hello, Professor. We are the group number 44, and my name is Manitema, and I'll be the first one to present our group presentations. So, today we'll talk on statistic for decision making, and in our group, we have four members. First one is Bikash Pradhan, Chimisaldan, Nima Wanchu, and myself. So, if I start with the introduction, universities and other educational institutions are always working to evaluate and raise the performance of their studies in the ever changing educational landscape. In this endeavor, data driven insights have become the important tools for accessing and improving educational programmers with regards to score, rank, and percentiles. The datasets at the hand provides an invaluable opportunity to investigate and analyze the academic performance of a student in a various university program. And in the next slide, I'll be explaining on main objectives or main research goals of our analysis. Number one, distribution of score. So in order to obtain insights into the student's overall performance, we start by looking at the distribution of result, specifically the general management score and the domain specific score. Number two, comparisons of score by the program. A more thorough investigation compares the students' or children's test results from the various programs. We try to find any trend or difference in academic performance across the different academic routes by computing descriptive statistics. Number three, relationship between domain-specific scores and a total score. Then we evaluate the link between domain-specific score and a total score using a scatter plot in order to better understand the interaction between domain-specific knowledge and overall performance. Number four, percentile rank calculation. Finally, after using the student's total score, we get their percentile rank. This statistic enables us to assess each student academic performance in relation to their peers. Now next, my friends will explain the following slides.
My name is Himanshu and I'm going to present on student enrollment by university. Basically, the chart interprets the number of students enrolled by different university. California Institute of Technology has 2 students. Harvard University has 75 students. Imperial College of London has 1 student. Massachusetts Institute of Technology has 9 students. Stanford University has 2 students. University of Cambridge has 2 students. University of Oxford has 12 students. So in total, there are 151 students. Another this slide basically describes about the average general management score by university. So the pie chart displays the average general management score by university. Basically, uh, California Institute of Technology has scored 34.5. Harvard University has scored 38.69. Imperial College London, UK has scored 33. Massachusetts Institute of Technology has scored 33.11. Stanford University has scored 38.92. University of Cambridge has scored 31.5. University of Oxford has scored 35. So in grand total, approximately they scored 37.99. So if we uh, calculate average of each institute of university, California Institute of Technology has scored 14%. Harvard University has scored 16%. Massachusetts Institute of Technology has scored 14%. Uh, Stanford University has scored 16%. University of Cambridge has scored 13%. University of Oxford has scored 40%. So the data provides insight into the general management performance of students at each institute and overall.
I'm Vikash. Today we will look into some essential regression statistics that shed light into the relationship between our independent and dependent variables. This information is crucial for understanding the strength and significance of our model. First and foremost, let's take a look at the multiple R value, which is approximately 0.944. This indicates a robust positive linear relationship between our independent and dependent variables. In simpler terms, it suggests that as our independent variable, x variable 1, increases, our dependent variable responds in a positive manner. Next, we have the R square. With a value of about 89.1%, this tells us that the substantial 89.1% of the variability in our dependent variable can be explained by x variable 1. In other words, our model does a commendable job in capturing and explaining the patterns of the data. Moving on, we have the standard error, which measures the accuracy of the regression model predictions. A lower standard error indicates that our model's predictions are closer to the actual data points. It's an important metric to assess the reliability of our model predictions. Lastly, we concluded our analysis on a dataset containing 151 data points, giving us a substantial amount of observation to work with. Now let's move on to the next slide. In this slide, we will delve deeper into the statistical significance of our regression model and explore the coefficients that define it. Firstly, we have performed an analysis of variance to assess the overall significance of our regression model. The incredibly low p-value indicates that our model is indeed statistically significant. This means that the relationship between our independent variable and our dependent variable is not by chance, but holds true in the population we are studying. Now let's turn our attention to the coefficients. The intercept has a value of approximately 14.892, and it's noteworthy that it comes with a small standard error, suggesting its statistical significance. The intercept represents the value of our dependent variable when all independent variables are set to 0. As for x variable 1, its coefficient is approximately 1.687. The coefficient tells us how much the dependent variable is expected to change for a unit increase in x variable 1. With a statistically significant coefficient, it reinforces the idea that the variable plays a substantial role in explaining the changes in the dependent variable. Our regression analysis indicates a strong statistically significant positive linear relationship between x variable 1 and our dependent variable. These findings provide valuable insights into the factors influencing our dependent variable and underscore the robustness of our model. Thank you for your attention.
Now to describe the histogram in the previous slide, the inference is number one, score distribution. Now, when we look at the dataset, what immediately stands out is the wide range of general management scores and domain-specific scores. This diversity in scores reflects the varying academic abilities of the students. But to truly grasp what's behind these score distribution, we'll need to dig deeper with some further research. There are likely some interesting factors at play here. Number two, score comparison by program. Moving on, when we compare the average scores among different universities, we notice something intriguing. Universities like Stanford and Harvard seem to have higher scores on average. Now, these differences might not just be coincidental. We might be looking at statistically insignificant variations. And why is this important? Well, it could be linked to how the curriculum is structured, all the unique characteristics of their students. Number three, connection between domain-specific and overall scores. Finally, let's talk about how the relationship between domain-specific scores and overall scores. It's quite fascinating. There's a strong positive linear connection here. This means that when the student excels in specific domains, it often translates to higher overall scores. It underscores the significance of specialized knowledge in achieving better scores across the board. So, as we delve into this data, keep an eye on how domain-specific expertise impacts the big picture. Now moving on to the next slide, number 4, percentile rank calculation. By calculating percentile ranks, we enable valuable student performance comparisons. This data empowers educational institutions to identify those needing extra support or recognition. And the last one, number 5, institutional recommendations. Our findings offer actionable insights for institutions. This can use this data to make informed decisions, personal support, refine curricula, and enhance academic programs, ultimately boosting overall academic achievement. In summary, this study serves a vital cornerstone for enhancing college students' performance. It underscores the pivotal role of a data-driven decision in educational and emphasizes the importance of specialized knowledge. By implementing these recommendations and closely tracking progress, institutions can enhance their students' academic achievements and actively participate in broader conversations about educational assessment and reform. In closing, we'd like to extend our sincere gratitude to our esteemed lecturer for lending us your time and attention during this presentation. Your guidance and insights have been invaluable, and we greatly appreciate the opportunity to share our findings with you. Thank you for being a part of our learning.